And I'm going to say all of this loud so Sunil can do corrections if I make a mistake. And feel free to jump in to assist me, Sunil. Thank you so much. And thank you everyone for being here. It's really good to have you here and for you to make the time to show up here for this presentation today. And for me and for you, because my hope and my expectation is that this is going to be a resource for you all. So it's good to have you here. This is my part one of a two-part presentation on adulthood as the big title. And the subtitle for today is recognizing the resource that you already have. Resource, what is a resource? It's a source that really supports you, it enhances you, you can draw from it. And in this, I want to tell you a little bit how I got to this presentation that kind of organically came out of me, out of my own experience, out of my own kind of accumulated walking in life. And for that, I will tell you a little bit about myself. So I grew up in Vienna, Austria, and my mother is Portuguese, and my father is Austrian or was Austrian. And my childhood, I had a fairly normal childhood, at least as it seemed that way from the external presentation. But underneath the exterior, there was a lot going on. And my parents made it a point not to involve children in what's going on underneath. And I'm sure all of you here kind of know some of that. That's part of being human. And so the underlying place where my parents were at was a lot of turmoil, a lot of, there was lack of trust, there was chaos, and there was a lot of grief going on. But they didn't really admit that, not to us children. I have a brother, and also partly not even to themselves. And so I feel that growing up, as we already know, children take in everything. And a lot of what they take in is not through our words, but it's through what they feel, their felt body, and through those other messages in other places that come to them. And so I think growing up, I got really confused from these mixed messages, because on the outside, it looked like mommy and daddy are fine and everything is okay and it's a great place and I'm okay. But I didn't feel that way inside. And that kind of made this ambivalence in me, and that feeling of like, I don't know where I am myself feeling in chaos a little bit. Obviously, I didn't put that together when I was a kid. That's hindsight. But the one thing I remember from childhood that I have really good memories in my body was when I spent time in nature. And since my mom is from Portugal, we took trips to Portugal, to the beach, and to see our relatives, but we spent some time at the beach. And my father grew up in Upper Austria, which is countryside. And there's mountains, there's a huge lake that we used to spend time in. We used to hike in the mountains and all kinds of stuff. So I remember the sense feelings of being with nature, the water on my skin, the waves hitting my body and making it move, the smells of the meadows and the grassland, the sound of the buzzing of life all around me, from bees and birds songs, and the trees sounds in the wind in my face, in my hair, on my body, the heat of the sun, the sand on my body, all these things left an impression on my physical body that kind of went all through me and made me feel home and well and expansive and like all is well kind of place. And I do remember that one trip to Scotland and getting out of the cars and the rolling hills of Scotland just bursted my heart open. It literally bursted my heart open. That never happened to me. I felt that sensation of complete expansion and freedom that I never felt before. And I haven't yet quite gotten there, but I'm on the way. So I moved out into the world, into my adult world. And I didn't realize that I crossed a whole ocean just to bring my old neighborhood along. And so when I entered my relationships here, guess what? I found myself internally in complete confusion, chaos, and a hell of a lot of grief. And I realized that I had wanted to make somebody whole, fill a hole that they have, make them whole for the sake of love. And just if the people around me didn't become whole, I felt like I just wasn't enough yet. Needless to say that obviously that doesn't work. And if you come from a not enough place to try to fill somebody else up, you just end up broken, just like them. And that's where we all in that place anyhow. But I pretty much had to find my own wholeness after that. I kind of came to a very deep place of just having to find myself again. And it was sitting in nature then, just being again with the sounds, with the body felt sensations, with the sun on my body, with the trees around me, with all of that, that suddenly I started hearing my own voice. I started recognizing something speaking to me from deep within myself. And I realized that what resourced me in nature the most is that nature just is. It has no mixed messages. And I finally was able to hear my own voice and find my own truth and look for my own wholeness in it. So attuning to myself versus other people and the situations around me, that I realized was my fullest potential of resource in nature. And here we are in this presentation because I want to ask the question to you. What resource do you have that you can draw even deeper to? So the title adulthood to me is very metaphorical because I love metaphors. Metaphors speak so deeply to me. I live in them. I breathe in them. I function in them because they bridge for me my exterior environment of the world that I can see and touch and feel to my interior world that is unseen and is very much harder to hold on to and grasp for. And so in adulthood, that's exactly, I want you to keep in mind that we're moving in this metaphorical place. And I thought about adult. What is an adult? What makes an adult different versus a child is that an adult knows what they have and they know what they need. Two major components. In the metaphorical place, you get to realize a little bit that I'm an adult, but inside of myself is my little self within my adult body that is still in need of a resource that I might have not gotten or that I might have not realized I have. And the part of hood from adulthood reminds me metaphorical of neighborhood and the hoods where we grow up. And that's to me kind of metaphorical, the field that surrounds us. What does that mean? The field that surrounds us to me means we are part of something much bigger than just us, ourselves. We come from somewhere and we are going somewhere. And that's that field that surrounds us in our neighborhood. And that's what we navigate as well. This brings me now to what I want to do with you. I want to guide you in first in a visualization. Then I will ask for a volunteer. So it's already out in the space, you heard it. I'm going to ask for a volunteer to just demonstrate what you are going to do with each other in the breakout rooms. If all goes well, it will. And for that, I want to just for a second think about source one more time. And actually, let's see if maybe should I save some time? Maybe I won't do the shared screen yet. I'm going to just save time as much as I can. So I'm going to have you visualize. So with this source energy, our resource that we're going to be looking for, right? I like to look at it as a circle within a circle within a circle. So the biggest circle is like source resource, universal, creational, the things from which all things arise. It's like creation, the biggest circle around. Then within that one is another circle that is a little smaller. It's encapsulated in that. And that's the intergenerational source. Intergenerational source links us to our lineage. And it links us also to Akashic records kind of place. And then we have another circle within that circle, a third circle. And that one is our personal resource. It's an asset. It's a trait. It's something we're born with. And obviously everything is in everything. Everything can be found in everything. So if I think of my resource in nature, it's for sure creational universal. And it's also from my lineage. And it definitely is also personal. I'm, by the way, a Taurus in sign. Taurus is connected to the earth, Mother Earth. So, I mean, you can see, I mean, no matter what, you can go in all directions and see that these circles exist everywhere. But in other words, the reason why I'm saying that, don't limit yourself in anything. And in this exercise we're going to do with each other, it's really about opening your creative senses to just see what comes in and also realize that it doesn't have to be a real thing, a real memory. FYI, if for some reason there is memories for you that you can't pull out of ether, or if there is nothing, you know, it can be coming from your creative space and from any other spaces. Okay, now I want to lead you first through a visualization. So what I want you to do is make sure you're comfortable. Make sure that you're sitting where your body is at ease and not uncomfortable, obviously, because it will get your attention then. Oh, my back hurts. Oh, I should have done this. So make yourself really comfortable. Do any little stretch or anything you need to sit for a little while. It's not going to take too long, but it's just so that you can be a little bit settled. And then give me a thumbs up, everyone, if you're ready when you feel ready. Okay. Now, it helps usually to close your eyes in visualizations. Nothing I say you have to do, by the way. It's all just invitational. You have free choice to partake in any of it and modify in any kind of way. I give you full permission to do what is right for you at any and all time. Close your eyes, sit quietly. Start feeling your body sitting on a chair, maybe your hips, your sit bones. Feel your spine, your shoulders relaxing, and your arms and hands relax and settle. Even your eyeballs, let them relax in the sockets. And now let your mind start to wander. Just let it go. Is there a place, a memory, an event, an experience, a picture or a vision that just floats into your mind's eye? One that you enjoyed immensely. You can feel the pleasure it gives you and the joy, the connection to it. Feel it in your body. Feel it in every cell of your being. See it. Taste it. Hear it. Sense it. Take some time to really retain whatever comes to you spontaneously. Memorize how it feels in your body. Use all your sense perception. And when you have it, gently come back in your own timing. You have all the time you need. Don't rush yourself. Everybody? Yes? Okay, good. Now I'm going to just ask for a volunteer. If you, Katrina, okay, awesome. All right, Katrina, you can unmute yourself, please. Awesome.
Hi.
Hi. All right. So I'm going to let you stay where you're at in that place. Just listen. I will write down everything. You will, from that place where you just been, and let me ask you, do you have one? You can just give me a thumbs up. Did you find something for yourself? Yes. Okay, good. From that place, you're going to allow yourself to have any words flow out freely, just bubbling up like a spring, like a river. Let the words just spontaneously come out of you. And I'm going to write it all down. And you're going to do it organically. Don't analyze, don't filter, just whatever comes out of you. Okay? All right, I'll give you some time. I'm going to be quiet now.
Deep, multidimensional, elements, cave, more and more, reaching, center of the earth, opening up to the heavens, swan, lake, fire, stillness, warmth, power, pulsing, ladder, moisture, all, ancestors, allies, knowing, touching,
Wonderful. Thank you, Katrina. Now, you're going to sit back and I'm going to read back those words to you and you're going to just receive them.
Mm.
Ready? Deep, multidimensional, element, cave, more and more, reaching the center of the earth, opening to the heavens, lawn, lake, fire, stillness, warmth, power pulsing, ladder, all, ancestors and allies, knowing, touching. How was that for you, Katrina?
It's really nice. It's it felt vulnerable to, at the beginning, to start kind of sharing words about that space. But it also felt really good because I realized like it was also just an acknowledgement of how real it is. And then to hear it back, I could feel it in different parts of my body, and like different words resonate in different spots.
Beautiful. For today, it's almost going to be the main core. The third component that I do want to mention though, and we're going to just briefly do it. You are, after you receive the words from someone, you will go back over these words and pick a handful of them and highlight those. So you had stillness, warmth, power, pulsing, ladder, moisture, all, ancestors, allies, knowing, touching, multidimensional, element, cave, more and more, center of the earth, opening to heavens, lawn, lake, and fire. Which ones speak the loudest to you? Which ones are held in your mind right now?
Pulsing, knowing, multidimensional, all.
Okay, so you have pulsing, all, knowing, and multidimensionals for you. And then it would be about finding, it's like going on a treasure hunt. And finding the gemstone. So that means you have to excavate more and more and bring the essence and the vibration and the resonance behind what this is for you personally. All right. So I'm going to now go just over the 3 steps that you're going to do with each other. Each person will have 5 minutes and you switch. The first step is that one of you writes down the words that the other comes with. The second step is that you reflect it back to them. So it's reflection. First is channeling. They channel, you write. The next is reflecting back. And the third one, which we're not going to do really today, but you might find already a handful of words or maybe even 1 or 2 words. The last one would call sourcing, finding the gem in it. What are 1, 2 words that really spoke the loudest to you? Are you clear about the instructions? Thumbs up if that's clear. Okay, very good. Okay. Obviously, Sunil had to go, so I'm going to see if I can create room 1. And now we have, how many people are we? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, 8 people. Katrina, are you okay? Okay, I'm gonna put you. Okay, breakout room, open, add room. Okay, Jackie and Julie. Then okay, hold on, just one more room to create. Okay, perfect. I'm gonna press open all rooms and you can go join them. What time is it now? 12:34, 35, 40, 45. Is that correct? 12:45, like in 45, we're gonna be back. I'm gonna try to see if I can send you a 5-minute thing. If not, keep your watches on because I'm new with this computer work, okay? So 5 minutes each. Open all rooms. Do you see the sign? Good, then go join the rooms. Oh my gosh. See, resume recording. Here we are. How was that for you? Is there anything, you don't have to, but is there anything, I mean, that you want to just bring into the group or share, or that kind of is just on you, resonate? Yes, just unmute yourself, Laura.
Hi.
Hi.
So that was lovely, but I couldn't help but notice how much harder it was to get into the feeling of it when I knew that I was with someone and, having to speak the words. And because when we were doing it earlier, I really had no problem kind of getting into that space and having quite a lot of words come out. as I was there, because I was just really, I don't know how to like, it's a subtle difference, but it was just something. And then when we did it in breakout rooms, I was surprised by the difference. I was surprised by like, oh, this is not as easy, because I still have to be present here with this person while I'm trying to go into that place, and to that, in this case, a memory. And I felt it was hard for me to disconnect from the present time to go there fully. But I thought that was super interesting. And I still had like a lot of words come out, and it was really good exercise.
Thank you. Yes, a lot of this is giving enough time to go back to this place again, obviously. And also, I have sat with this for a period of time. So for you, this is just a little bit of a taste and an invitation of knowing how to get there. You can do this, obviously, for yourself. You can go back to that place with much more time, much more resource, I guess, because being, in a group now, you have only 5 minutes each. It's just more constrained. And recording yourself, you can do the same thing on your own. Anybody else? Yes, you were very aware of the time limit. Yes, I thought so. Yes. You can't help feel that lid, right? Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Jackie.
Yeah, I was surprised with the timing worked out perfectly for
For you.
us. Yeah, it was perfect. And I even said, my gosh, I don't think that ever happens. So it was really, yeah, it was very organic. The timing was perfect. And then I really enjoyed that afterwards. Like we both felt really nice and happy about our places. And it felt really good to exchange like more information, like what was it? What was the experience, or what was it? So it was overall, it was really enjoyable. And it just really, I feel like it left me more connected to the place, even more connected to the place, because I got to share what it means for me personally. That was really nice. Thank you.
Beautiful. Thank you, Jackie. Janet, yes.
Yeah, I want to thank you for a beautiful presentation. When you were telling your story, it evoked a lot of things in me. And then I had a real experience. And then when we did the exercise, it kind of brought it out and almost kind of resolved a certain thing that I'm feeling that's really profound. So it was beautiful from start to finish. I love your story. I love the exercise. And at first, when you were talking about the exercise, I thought like, ooh, like I felt this body like it was invasive. When you said it, and I'm going to write it down, I was like, oh my God, no, but it was so much fun. And the whole thing was really interesting. And like I said, I had, which I'm happy to tell you later, but a really profound kind of opening to something that I've been experiencing in my life. So very nice.
Beautiful. Thank you, Janet, for sharing that. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Good. Yes, Shelley.
I'll share. I love that. I love you. I love your medicine. I in the meditation I had I was in many different places, and the sharing helped. It really did help me find some words for that, kind of like what Laura was saying. But I definitely noticed that what I tuned into, because we had a little time to like figure out what was important, or pick our three in the moment. And what was important for me, like after sharing, was like what's important to me right now. And I don't know if that's like a now thing, because what was important to me in what was strongest for me in the exercise was different than the words that stood out to me in the share. So I just thought that was interesting and wanted to share that.
Beautiful. I love that you bring that part in as well, because again, it's really not one thing, right? And it's so great to always remind ourselves, and that it's a very personal thing and momentary thing, and as well a continuum. It's a continuum within wherever we are at. So that was perfect. Beautiful. Thank you, Shelley. So is anybody else, or can I just want to let you know that as I mentioned, this is gonna possibly, you can, if you give this space to breathe. And what I think would be lovely is if you wrote the words for somebody, if it's okay. I forgot to tell you to exchange numbers, but most of you know each other. We are all from, so we can even look it up, that you send them their words so that they have the words that you wrote down for them. And within the next days, and you're going to notice that if you just be with them, that things just arise, and that the gemstone might start to come up a little bit more, especially when you just let yourself sit with that. And I'm going to have a follow-up presentation on the second part of adulthood, when I said an adult knows what they have. And that's kind of where we dived a little bit into today. Like, what is our resource we can always come back to, and kind of finding a little bit more what it really kind of, the essence of it is. And then the second one that I'm doing on June 5th would be on what is the resource I need to step into my bigger self when I find myself in this little self place within an adult, as an adult. So we could explore some of that. And the question that I'm going to leave you with are, when you sit with your words, are, what is it about this that supports me? What is it about ... this, what that supports me? What is the underlying energy that is resonating with me? It's like the source of the support for me. So you can, when you just open yourself up with the question, like, remember, they always say the question is more interesting than the answer even. If you really put that question out there, you will get an answer back. It can be for the day, it can be for something, a little bit broader. So I invite you for that. And I would love to hear from you. Reach out to me. Now that I can't share my screen, but I know how to, that I can do, what is it called? Whiteboard. So it's called Whiteboard. So let me try to find Whiteboard. There we go. And I think that worked. And let's see if I can do something. Here we go. Okay, do you all see this? Thumbs up, yes? Okay, you can take a picture of this, a screenshot, and connect to me via email. Everybody got it? Yes, I'm gonna stop to share. And you can connect to me via email. You can even call me. Some of you have my number. And I'd be more than happy to have you share anything that it brought up for you. But I will also revisit this if you are part of my second half of this presentation. We will revisit, and you can bring it just to that presentation. Thank you so much for being here, for showing up, for sitting in the little bit of chaos that started my whole presentation, and being patient with me, and for really being in this vulnerable place with each other and with me. I really appreciate that. Some of you mentioned that. Katrina mentioned that. It's a little bit vulnerable to open yourself up to others like that. So I really appreciate you for being daredevils. Thank you, and have a great weekend still. June 5th. If you want to be part of the other one, put that in your calendar. Take care.
Thank you all.
Thank you, Christine.
You're welcome. I'll stop
Thanks,
the
Chris.
recording.